Hi, I'm Riz. Let's go and open some cards together, is what I said about 12 hours ago. Unfortunately, my video I made earlier today, which was half an hour of jokes and card discovery and all the rest, had really bad audio. My microphone had an error of some sort, and I didn't discover this until after I sat down to cut the video down to upload to YouTube. So today, unfortunately, we're going to do kind of a weird card opening, because I did open these 5 boosters on a table right in front of us, which you'll see 3 of them are entirely new to the channel. Opened them excitedly, ready to show you everything, and the audio just didn't work. So what I'm going to do instead today is just walk through each of the discoveries I found, 3 or 4 cards from each of the few boosters here, and we'll see what we discover. As always, I want to start with a question that might motivate some comments, might you find interesting to discuss, and that question today is there a card that ever got away from you? One that you traded away or sold or lost that you miss in some way? A card you said, if only I can get that one back. Maybe you could buy a new copy right now if you wanted to, but that particular card for some reason, is there one you've gotten rid of? I ask in part because last night I actually went and sold some cards, actually ones we've opened here on the videos, to one of the local card shops. I did that to buy other decks and other packs to open here with you, but also to acquire some cards that I want to use for my eventual squirrel deck with Chatterfang over in the corner there. I felt a little weird saying goodbye to some of the cards. Not that I planned to use them, not that they were good for anything but looking at and enjoying the art, but that decision to trade, the decision to make this thing that might be valuable and important and move on to the next one, it's a hard one to make. So, are there any cards you wish you hadn't had to get rid of, and why? Why'd you get rid of them? I'd love to know more about that. So, we go to the packs right now, and as we're going there, I will say if you like what you see, as always, please consider throwing a follow this way. I'm going to start with the ones we've seen before, and then the ones we've not seen before. So, the Mystery Booster and the Tarkir Collector Booster we've both seen before on the channel. We'll start with the Mystery Booster. I actually don't recall which cards I have from which one. We start with Ra the Storm Conduit. On the one hand, looking very much like Benedict Cumberbatch in the middle there, casting his magic and all the rest. I brought this card out for 2 reasons. Number 1, he's a planeswalker, just like we are when we play the game. But 2, I said I would discover what these little arrows mean. I've now learned that they're loyalty counters. One more kind of loyalty, or one more kind of counter rather. And so down here we have the shield, and the shield indicates how much loyalty Rawl has when he starts in the battle on our side, and then you can gain and lose loyalty as the game goes by, and apparently if loyalty goes low enough, the character doesn't die, but they give up on your cause and leave in some way. It's a different kind of card mechanic, a different kind of way to have your opponent's board decimated. I think I saw in the commander format that your planeswalker or other legendary character sits off to the side and contributes by cheering on the rest instead of taking an active part themselves. There you go. Loyalty and planeswalkers. Very good. Number 2, our Future Sight card is called Future Sight, which I find absolutely delightful, because this kind of card framing here, with the mana right here, is called a Future Sight card. So Future Sight, you play with the top card of your library revealed. Everybody can see it. You can play lands and cast spells from the top of your library. So I guess that means as long as you keep pulling up spells and lands, you can just keep casting them, even if you've already cast a few this turn, or you wouldn't be able to draw more cards. Also love that the character's looking here at a Palantir perhaps, or maybe just the latest in TV technology, saying, "My past holds only pain and loss. I'll conquer it by creating the perfect future." Not able to deal with the past, to the future they go, maybe to honor or more likely to forget what happened before. And then lastly, the Uro Titan of Wrath, or sorry, Titan of Nature's Wrath rather. This character is one legendary as well, and I found, first of all, its graphic here absolutely delightful. Took a while to find the head, but the creature's lumbering forward, its chains broken. And I'm so delighted by the way in which the devs took the idea of a large creature breaking its chain and put it into card text. When Uro escapes the battlefield, sacrifice it unless it escaped. So I don't fully understand what that means, other than if you play the card and do not achieve the remainder of the card, it just goes away. So in which case, why would you play it? We'll see though. Whenever Uro enters the battlefield, you gain 3 life and draw a card. Then you may put a land card from your hand onto your battlefield. So here we have like all the things you can do, but what is it to escape? You spend this mana and exile 5 other cards in your graveyard. I like to imagine that Oro comes charging on through, ripping off those chains and harming your own side, damaging the people you have with you in order to have its freedom. So again, nice combination of image, of title, and of the card text together. See, we're having a little bit of zooming problem. Hopefully I can fix that focus pretty quick here. We'll see how it goes. But those right there were the ones in the mystery booster. Number 2, the collector booster. We'll check that one out now. Again, 3 cards. The top one here, just because I really enjoyed its art this time. The Smile at Death. I don't know if that's death personified in the magic world, welcoming the warriors. If the warriors go fight well, then Mother Death is there with them rather. Or if instead that is the figure of death coming for those warriors from behind. Either way, the kind of shiny purplish figure of death, smirking a little bit. Definitely I tend to think of death as the Grim Reaper character, but here we have her smiling instead. Number 2, Sorok the Elusive Hunter. I love that he is either running from bears or has bears coming with him. And at the bottom here, whenever a creature you control or creature spell you control becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, draw a card. So a way of stopping people from harming your creatures. Only the Elusive Hunter does that. I've spent my life feeding Arafra's desire and hunger. It's time to see to my own. The hunter becomes the hunted, or the hunted becomes the hunter, or something. We hunt something else. And then lastly, a card I wish I'd been able to open with you all is another one of these Ugin Eye of Storms. And again, the legendary Planeswalker who reaches on out. And we do have the other side as well, with the adorable little one. They both play just the same way, just which form do you prefer? And now we know it has a loyalty counter of 7. So last night, I actually did sell one of these cards in the foil edition in order to fuel or fund, I suppose, the acquiring of other cards for us. So glad to have a new one, a little less attractive version of the same, but made the sign from the universe that I should go ahead and figure out how to play an Ugin deck in some measure. We'll see on that one, maybe after the scrolls are done. The other one I've done previously, though not here, is the Bloomburrow pack. The very first kind of Magic card I've opened as adult were the Bloomburrow ones. I was a Redwall kid like so many other people, and so I was delighted when I saw that Magic had these absolutely adorable rats and bunny rabbits and all the rest coming to defend and to attack and more. I suspect that's exactly why they were made, to draw in people like me who absolutely love the idea of being with the animals and having their feasts. Alright, more on that another time. For now though, what are the cards we got? And here I think the cards themselves are not super powerful, but I enjoyed seeing this combination. Number 1, the Mind Spiral. This rat is making you very, very sleepy, and so it causes the target player to draw 3 cards after being gifted a fish. So you give the opponent a free fish, and then you're able to draw 3 cards afterwards, I believe. Now, why I like this in particular is because after seeing the really fun little graphic there with little rat paws sticking out, we then discover the Psychic Whirl. And I like to imagine the Psychic Whirl as the outcome of the Mind Spiral, because it has a special if you control a rat condition there. We're able to look at 2 additional cards. So you are getting very sleepy, give me your cheese. I like how they fit together. We then have Repel Calamity, which is the kind of picture that I think of exactly when I think of Redwall. That little mouse there standing firmly and showing such courage, despite the fact that that beast is so much larger. Are you wearing a leaf for a cloak? Oh, I think they actually might be wearing a leaf for a cloak. That's doubly adorable if so. The living seasons come to grow, to burn, to wither, and to freeze. As natural as for calamity beasts to live, it's just as natural for them to die. I want to see the fight. I want to see how one lone mouse wins this thing, especially in the back. The obvious place from which a mouse might attack is covered in flames. I believe in you, little buddy, for sure. And on just that same topic, well, here is one of the art cards from this set. And I don't know who this is by name. On the back of the art card, it does say they are an Emberheart Challenger, but we see that they have that bright sword of fire and then a casting wand as well. Some kind of mage fighter. I like to imagine the sword has been imbued with flame after defeating the last enemy there, a giant flaming dog. Alright, yesterday at the card shop, I went ahead and bought these 2 additional packs for us, so actually a few of each. The Crimson Vow, which looks very, very vampire-like, and then the Brothers' War. And I just don't know what to say about this one, other than it kind of reminds me of, well, an anime, namely Full Metal Alchemist, with the giant armor behind. But I'm guessing the brothers, whoever they might be, are the 2 figures represented there. Maybe it's a battle between magic and technology, or something of that sort, brother against brother. Of the 2 ideas, I'm a little less interested in vampires, but the woman on the left here with the shining hair really drew my attention. So let's go and check out the Innistrad Crimson Vow ones first. Quite a few cards caught my eye in this one, but let's go and highlight just these few. Number 1, Lucy Westerna, the Innocent Traveler. So when I first saw this card, I thought, oh, maybe in Innistrad there are actually characters who don't do very much. Maybe it's like 1/1 tokens, but instead it's just people on the train, or a random person walking by and suddenly vampire attack. Well, it's not exactly that. Instead, it's the innocent is not innocent at all. So the innocent traveler turns into the arisen malicious invader. And this seems to be one of the core features of this set. I'm not sure if other sets are this way, but the ability to transform under a certain condition, you're able to become the thing that Van Helsing causes the lantern to come up and draw the slide. By the concentrated light that fell on Lucy's face, we could see the lips were crimson with fresh blood. Obviously a vampire after all. But I like the idea of transformation. Under certain conditions, the 2 sides are importantly different. With that in mind, we then found this card here, the Howlpack Piper. On this side, the creature, called a human werewolf, has the ability to call in other enemies, or other friends, allies. You may put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. If it's a wolf or a werewolf, you can also untap this card, and do it again, presumably. So at this point, you're able to call in allies. But daybound. If a player casts no spell during their own turn, it becomes night. So you have to keep track of, is it day or is it night, which probably affects more than just this one character. It makes sense in a vampire universe why it would be that way. But if night comes, then, oh boy, that Piper becomes, I don't know, someone with giant pipes coming for you. And this card is nightbound. Again, if it's day, I'm guessing you flip over again. It's a transformation once more. This is our horrifying creature of the day. I should have warned you a little bit, but the Patchwork Crawler. The bottom here, the Patchwork Crawler has all activated abilities of all creature cards exiled with it. So this creature is the combination of everything that's died and in your graveyard so far. Some real Frankenstein, human centipede action there. Looking, true, these are all fingers, an arm of, oh boy. Nope, not good, but seems pretty powerful, maybe? I don't know. I'm not sure if it is, but it seems for a limited amount of mana, one can get a bunch of activated abilities, though perhaps that's only the case after the untap. So I wonder if enemies or their opposition is able to knock it out pretty quickly, perhaps. And lastly, and this card has a special distinction. Lastly, the Alchemist Gambit. First of all, looking like a character out of Ghostbusters, or one of my favorite, Warhammer franchises, perhaps. The Alchemist Gambit. Take an extra turn after this one. During that turn, damage can't be prevented. At the beginning of that turn's end step, you lose the game. This is the first time I'm seeing a card that references the game itself, and that you can lose it or win it based on an action that happens during the actual game, other than an enemy running out of life, or you running out of life. This card strikes me as being incredibly powerful. To have a second turn seems really strong, but I looked it up and it's actually not very strong. It's not a very well-regarded card. I could easily imagine, had I not looked it up, the idea of putting there some like really heavy damage, put out 20 damage in 2 turns. deck would appeal to me. But I like the idea, at least, of engaging in shenanigans, extra turn, surprise you win. I'm guessing that kind of mechanic, get an extra turn, is something that Magic has tried a few times. I can't imagine it first starting here. And I wonder if that kind of deck has been strong at some point. But there you go. Our friend the Ghostbuster gives you a bonus turn, but apparently it's not very good to have 2 turns in a row. Maybe it's hard to do enough damage over those 2 turns, and the threat of being able to lose all at once, very, very problematic. Okay, lastly, we look at our collection of Brothers War cards here. Number 1, the Giant Cindermaw. This creature belching flame everywhere. Players can't gain life is why I wanted to highlight this one. Don't excavate too far into the canyons. I promised your parents I'd return you in one piece. So my question about this, players can't gain life, I sort of suggested this previously, but do any of you know of any cards where it's a good thing for you yourself to have a low amount of health? Like, is it possible that there are some situations out there where you want to keep your opponent on higher health so they can't use certain abilities? Or is this more to keep your opponent nice and low on health so that you can continue doing damage and they themselves can't heal? I'm guessing it's more likely, but who knows. Number 2, the Bitter Reunion. So I'm guessing that this right here is the presentation of the Brothers' War. In the middle here we see, or the bottom, we see the Peace Summit proved the grudge between Urza and Mishra could only end in blood. So I think we've now seen the name Urza over and over again. I believe there's an Urza saga, and I bet the fellow on the left there is indeed Urza, and the one on the right, Mishra. So between now and next video, I'm going to go ahead and look into these 2 characters and figure out who they are. And did Magic the Gathering always intend to have Urza as a major figure, or just kind of happen as time went by? In the earliest days, was there a clearly laid out mythology of the world, or instead were they kind of just flying by the seat of their pants? Nonetheless, here are our 2 brothers. Lovely. Okay. And lastly for now, this is ridiculous. I did not expect to see this kind of card in a, let's be mechanical versus magic, though yes indeed is mechanical. It's Ratchet the Rescue Racer. Now I did not watch this cartoon growing up, but I immediately knew what it was. Whenever one or more non-token artifacts you control are put into a graveyard from the battlefield, convert Ratchet. So artifact goes out and surprise! It's a transformer. The combination of what I call planes, the combination of different media properties all in one sure does get me. But there you go. More than meets the eye. It's the Transformer in disguise. Alright team, there you go. That's a quick look back at the cards you should have seen as I opened them earlier today. I am curious if you want to mention, do you prefer this shorter version in which I've only taken out a few interesting cards, or do you like seeing the full unpacking experience where you don't know what you're going to get and I just kind of pop off of what comes to mind at the time? Whichever way, I appreciate you hanging out with me a little bit. Thank you for watching the video. You know, might consider throwing the like down below, might consider subscribing to the channel, and might even leave a message saying, hi, how's it going? I always appreciate whatever you do. For now, though, I say thank you, I appreciate you, and I'll see you again real soon. Bye for now, everybody.